We're Tony and Stephen, and we've just bought a second-hand motorhome. Over the past few weeks, we've been touring around Ireland and getting to grips with motorhome life. This week is all about fixes and upgrades as we dive into a snagging list of teething issues that we've had with our first few months of having a used motorhome. So join us to see how things progress after sending it back to the dealer under our warranty, and also stay tuned to the very end when we show you what new upgrades we've added before our next big trip.
So, if you've been following along with our videos, you'll have seen we got this motorhome and we've been coming to grips with it over the past few trips. So, while we have absolutely been loving our time away in the motorhome, we have noticed there are a few issues that we need to get fixed. So, while we've been doing the trips, the first thing that we noticed was that the bathroom door actually locks when we're in transit. So what happened was our nephew actually discovered this. So we had done a trip to our favourite spot, Loch Allen, and he'd went to use the toilet. But whenever he tried to get out again, he couldn't get out because the handle seems to be stopping with the lock shut, so it does. So then he's like, I'm stuck in the bathroom, so we had to sort of poke a key in here and get it to unlock again. It's not a big thing, but I think it just needs tightened up. So on the subject of the bathroom, we actually discovered a leak from the sink area. So I'm not too sure if it's coming from the sort of hose bit for the shower or the fittings for the tap itself, but we noticed that there was water coming down sort of in behind the sink cabinet and leaking actually outside of the bathroom area, which isn't really good. So we've sort of stopped using this sink until we get it fixed. So as we move into the driving area, we actually have two things that have happened. Now the first one we noticed whenever we got the van, and it's actually the handbrake. So we have noticed that the handbrake just needs tightening. So if we park on any sort of hill, the van will roll down the hill. Now with it being automatic, you can put it in park and that does help keep it in position. But with an automatic, you're putting a lot of pressure on the gear, so you don't really want to do that. You want to rely on your handbrake because that's what it's for. So that'll need adjusted. And then we were coming back from our last trip and we noticed there is an issue with the emissions fluid. So this van has a thing called AdBlue. Now, if you know anything about that, you know that AdBlue does cause renowned amount of issues on all diesel vehicles. So it looks like this one may need a sensor. It is a known issue and the dealer says, yep, no problem, we'll get that sorted for you. So if you've watched our last video on our last trip, you'll have actually seen that one of the cupboard door latches above the bed got stuck and wouldn't open. And because of that, all our clothes were in that drawer. So I'm getting out of bed in the morning, want to go get dressed, try to open the cupboard and couldn't open the cupboard. And I'm just thinking, I'm going to get some weird looks trying to drive home with, we'll just say no shirt on. So another thing that we noticed wasn't working quite right, but we couldn't tell until we actually started getting some sun like we have today. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I'm just basically water at this point because it's roasting. That's weird saying that living in Ireland. But the solar controller that we have that we got fitted to the van doesn't seem to be reading the right voltage. Now I've actually checked the voltage going from all the work that I have done, and it's all reading correctly and all working correctly. But the voltage going to the solar controller seems to be out by anything from 0.2 volts to 0.8 volts. Now, before anyone goes jumping in the comments about wrong sized cable, it's actually reading higher voltage rather than lower voltage. So if we were getting voltage drop due to incorrect cable, we would be getting less voltage, but we're actually getting a completely wrong reading. Now, what I did was I got a multimeter and I tested it, and it is reading nearly the right voltage at the cables. So it seems to be the controller itself is maybe not working correctly. So with it being brand new, the dealer should have no problem with getting that replaced. So as you can see, this is our solar controller. Now, we are in the middle of the day, and we should be getting, we have a 450 watt panel, we should be getting way more than about 12 watts. This is reading the battery at 100%, which is not right. Our batteries are about 60%, and this is reading 14, you can see 0.4, 0.5 and 0.6 volts. Whereas I know the voltage is reading about 13.5, 13.6 volts. So this is actually to the extreme end. This is reading a full volt off. So not quite sure what's going on with this. but it's just not working. And then lastly, there are just a few niggly things with the van that sort of need fixed. So there are a couple of LEDs above the kitchen and then above the bed area which are not working right, which means the LED strips might need replaced. The gas strut for the habitation door isn't quite right. It actually came off on us one day. Now I did screw it back on and that might just be it, but I just want to get that checked to make sure the gas strut's right. And then whenever we got the van, the pull-out bed, one of the legs, we couldn't adjust it. Now it just seemed to be that somebody put the screw in wrong and had maybe cross-threaded. So again, that's something that I done. I just cleaned up the threads and it's working perfectly now. So just a couple of niggly things. And again, these are things you sort of do expect when you get a second-hand van, but it's why it's really important to get one from a dealer with a warranty, because it means that all these wee things that are wrong with the van, we can bring it back to the dealer and say, here's the list of what's wrong after having it for a couple of trips, and they'll fix it for us, and then we get pretty much a good as new van back. So we have a little bit of time before our next trip, and the dealer has given me a call to say what needs done with the van. So we're going to hand the van back to the dealer, give it a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back to this video and see, has he fixed everything. So welcome back. It's been a few weeks since we've been without the van. It's been away getting fixed, and now we're going to check, has everything been done? So the first thing we're going to have a look at is the lock on the bathroom door. So as I said before, whenever we were driving along, it would actually lock, or sometimes whenever you're in the bathroom it would lock. But now we can tell it's actually far more tighter, so it is. So they've actually replaced the barrel inside the bathroom, or inside the bathroom door. So there was also a leak under the sink, or we thought it was under the sink, but it actually was the hose for the sink. So as you can see now, we put the water on. No more leaks. So since we're at this side of the van, we'll check that the cupboards are now working as well. So these ones were okay anyway, but I think they've adjusted all the cupboards. So they actually feel a bit better to open. And then the main one causing the issues. So it's nice to know we can actually get into our clothes storage cupboard again. So we come back into the cab area. Now there was two things wrong in this area. So there was, one of them was the handbrake. You had to go right down with the handbrake and pretty much try and lift it to about up here to get the van to not roll down hills. And even then it wasn't still great. So I can confirm that now the handbrake, you only have to move it about this much and it grabs properly now, so it does. So that has been fixed. The handbrake light is also now always illuminating, so that's also been fixed. And then the issue with the AdBlue, so apparently it can be to do with the way that the van calculates the AdBlue. This is what we were told. So the van actually did need AdBlue, so they've topped up the AdBlue fully, plugged it into their computers, and it doesn't show any faults, and the light has went off since they've done the AdBlue. So we'll just keep a wee eye on it, but hopefully that's it fixed as well. So a couple of things that I actually fixed that I wanted them just to double check was the gas strut for the door and the bed leg. So I said to them about them not being quite right, and then what they did is they just checked it over to make sure what I had done was actually the fix, and yep, everything looks good. So there's still a couple of things that need to be addressed with the van, and one of them is still the LED strips. Now, just due to time constraints and delays with part orders, we weren't able to get this done when the van was in with the dealer, but he has all the parts ordered, and as soon as they're ordered, he's going to maybe try and get us booked in. But because we're sort of in peak motorhoming season, if that makes sense, we're going to wait until we actually go on our cruise later in the year. So whenever we go on our cruise later in the year, we're going to get the motorhome booked back in again, and then get the last minute bits and pieces fixed. One of the last things to still be fixed and looked at is actually the solar controller. So the solar controller still isn't working quite right. Now what the dealer has done to try and combat the issue is they've been on to the manufacturer of the controller, and they said that maybe the cable sizes were too thin. So they've changed the cables out just to try it and run them down. They've actually done a bit of conduit down here because the cables were so thick they couldn't run them any other way. But until they told us, we didn't even see it, so we would never have even noticed it. But unfortunately, we've been testing it throughout the week and it seems to be doing the exact same thing. Again, I've done the multimeter test and just all the faults are just still there. So I've been back onto the dealer and they're maybe going to see if we can get it changed out for, don't want to speak too soon, but maybe a bluer controller. We'll see what happens. So speaking of blue equipment, if you follow our Instagram or our YouTube posts, you'll have seen that I have started doing my Victron training courses. Now there's reasons why I'm doing these courses. One, it's so that I can back up what I'm saying to you guys with a bit of sort of accreditation that I actually sort of know what I'm talking about. And then if you've any questions as well, I have more confidence that I can answer your questions in the right way. But also there's another reason for this. So this gives us more options for whenever we go traveling, that we can do different things to support ourselves while we're away. So if you'd like to test me on how my training is going, please ask any questions about off-gridding in a van for Victron systems, and I'll do my best to answer them, and it'll be a really good test to see, am I actually learning anything from this? So speaking of priorities and future travel plans, we have a trip coming up which you'll see in the next video. We're going to do a big trip with some of my family next time round, and what we're doing in the process before that is we're actually doing some more upgrades to the van. So we have included 2 TVs in the van. This is becoming less and less like van life and more like apartment life, if we're being honest. It's like an apartment on wheels now. It just doesn't feel like camping anymore, but it's just pure luxury. So Tony was able to get an absolute bargain in Tesco's of all places, and there was reduced Roku TVs. Now we'd never heard of these before, but he was able to get them for about £53 each. So we got one for the living area and we got one for the bedroom area.
Okay, so on the subject of these TVs, these were reduced, as Stephen says, in Tesco's, and they were £53 each, down from the original £106. So naturally, we picked up 2 of them because it was a bargain that we couldn't replace. It is a 24-inch TV and perfect for this space. We were between measuring this out at 22 to 24, so if you do have the Edge 464, it's worth keeping that in mind, that that's probably about the maximum you'd probably want to go. I mean, you could maybe go bigger, but you'd be coming into a lot of issues working around some of the angles here in the van. Some of the features of this Fitato Roku TV are that it has in all the built-in smart apps. We have YouTube for watching Turn Around with Rosie, and we have Netflix, BBC iPlayer, Disney Plus, and we also have something really handy which is called Freely. So in the past we have wanted to watch terrestrial or analog TV on the go, and this actually has Freeview built in, and it runs entirely off Wi-Fi, so we can use our 5G box to get signal to this TV. And so far we've been using it. We have really been liking what we've been seeing, and it's a perfect fit for us.
So the TV is brilliant because it has all the apps. It's just the right size for the van, but there's only one downside. The sound's pretty terrible, so it is. But if anyone would have any recommendations as to what we could do for a different speaker, we have been looking at sound bars and such, but I'm not too sure what way to go about that. If you could please put them in the comments as what you would recommend for a HDMI speaker for the TVs. So speaking about upgrades with the van, we did notice a couple times as we were wild camping, because that's what we like to do, we like to wild camp as much as possible, that whenever we're on any sort of slightly wet grass, we just spin. So we really struggle to get parked up on wet grass. So I'm thinking we might be getting a bit of an upgrade for the outside of the van.
Absolutely not.
Well, there's a bit of a seal on, you can't ever go past a good seal, so you can't. And I think new shoes would look really, really nice on the motorhome. So I think you guys should definitely stay tuned to see, does the motorhome get some new shoes so that we can park better and make it more easier. If we're on mud and grass, we have to be able to park.
So that is it for this week's video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and remember, if you want to follow along on the adventure, go ahead and click that subscribe button.
And comment new wheels.
Definitely not.